like helping my daddy.
Howdy folks, it's Brian from South Georgia Hydroponics. Today we are going to take you to the bee yard. We're going to help you grow bees. We appreciate you sticking around. Hang out, and we'll see you in a minute. We're at the bee yard today. We're mixing up some food. There's a Dearth. We got these buckets from Lowe's. Hey Lowe's, send me a check. It would be great. It wouldn't bother me at all. 2 great buckets, and this is a cool lid. I like this lid because there's this piece. It screws down and it has a seal. I'm going to try to show you the seal. But that seal right there will keep it sealed up, keep the ants out, keep all the other critters out that like to eat your sugar water. And it just screws on. Somehow it screws on. Screws on. It screws on. Just like that. So, we are feeding today. Plain old white sugar. We are trying to find a source for some cheap sugar. Sugar is not cheap, especially when you go through as much of this as we do. It's going to probably take, I'll probably make a half a bucket, so it's probably going to be close to 12 pounds worth of sugar. A full 5-gallon bucket will hold 25 pounds of sugar, and that'll be a 1-to-1 mix. Okay, that's that. That's sugar. And we like to use Pro Health. Not everybody uses Pro Health. Not everybody uses any additives. Some people like to put their own natural oils. This lasts a long time. It doesn't take but what, maybe a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, Terry?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact. I want to say
cap.
Maybe like a teaspoon per quart, something like that. Half a teaspoon. I just read the bottle.
Yeah, but this helps keep the keeps the sugar water from going bad so quickly and turning to alcohol. So give it a shake. Just use your little cap.
Help the bees find it if you open feed them too. Not that they need help, but that lemongrass scent seems to draw them in pretty quick.
You want to put 2 in there?
Yeah.
Let's put 2. So that'll probably be about a tablespoon. Alright, we'll take this outside and we will mix it up here in just a little bit. See you in a second. Alright folks, we're going to mix up our sugar. And when you're mixing it in this capacity, you know, this amount, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Get you a paint paddle. And man, it's going to make a big difference in your world. That's it. Mixed. Next stop, feeding station. And again, so as you see right over here, we've got one of our bee yards. And I wanted to speak specifically to why we're feeding. Right now we've got a really, really bad dearth. There is no nectar anywhere. The only thing these bees right now, as far as foragers are doing, is collecting pollen. There is no nectar. So that's why we're feeding. And we're feeding a lot. We went through the hives this morning, and there's no honey in them at all. So basically they're starving to death. So we're trying to counteract that. And what we're doing is we're putting the feed on the feeding station. And let me take you over here. So again, we've got our gallon jars with lots of holes. Again, lots of holes, lots of feed. And they need it. We're in a dearth. They don't have any resources right now. So this is going to be all of the carbohydrates that they get at this point in time. So use a glass jar. We've tried plastic before, but the glass seems to do it better. What's going to happen is when I turn this upside down, a vacuum is going to be created. When the bees come over, they'll get on these holes and they will draw the sugar water out of it. So come on over here, take a look. I've already got one jar up here, and it's already stopped. It's already got a vacuum on it, so it's not dripping at all. And what you'll see is when I turn this over, it'll drain some, but not a whole lot. And see, it's got a vacuum on it now. It's not draining anymore. So the bees will come over here and take care of that on their own. The other thing that we do is open feed, and we came up with a pretty cool little contraption here. Everybody's got their own way of open feeding. This is the way we like to do it. We found these little buckets. They're like $2 Lowe's. Hey Lowe's, send me a check. And then we took hardware cloth, and my buddy Terry actually came up with this. By folding this into, I hope you can see this, folding this into an accordion and then putting it down in here, we got a lot less bees drowning because they don't have far to go to get to the side and climb out and dry off. We thought that was pretty slick. So again, open feeding, just fill this sucker up, you know. Put your feed in there, put it on your feeding station, and within the hour, this entire feeding station is going to be loaded with bees. Once the foragers find this, report back to the hive, man, you're not going to believe the number of bees on this feed. We'll see you in a little bit.